Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 14 of SubTerra Tech. Where today, well, you see this sub behind me? We already got into this mod, and what happened was the recording messed up. So, we're going to record the entire episode, well, from this point. I'm going to explain everything real quick here, but before I do so, hit that subscribe button. Now hit that share button. Got done both of those things? I'll give you a little bit. Done now? Okay. Now that you've done both of those things, hit that like button and let's jump into this episode. All right, guys, diving into this episode, we see I've already got Endo Flames here. Elven mana spreaders. We originally had regular mana spreaders here. And I upgraded them to the mana spreader after we got the portal here, which requires 3 glimmering and the Elven Gateway core, 2 nature pylons, which requires us to make make Terra still here. Um We've already done the very first 2 of the items here, the Elementium ingots and the mana steel ingots. Now, I had a little bit of a recording issue. There was an issue with the audio and the visuals of episode 14 and a few corrupted files, which, happens. And well, if I had paid attention, we would have fixed them during the recording. Anyway, since we've already done most of this stuff, we got the pure daisies, we taught it to the system, we got the terrestrial augmentum, and the runic altar. If you guys need me to do a explanation on how any of this stuff works, feel free to leave a message down below. I can point you to one of my earlier episodes of all the mods 9 to the sky that I did. That I did a lot more into each of these things. But yeah, we're going to pretty much assume you guys understand the basic premise here for most of this stuff. And where is it? I need this to get a pressure plate out of here. We're going to make a auto thing for this so we get decent amount of mana. We went with the Elven spreaders because they go through the mana quicker, so it should make this a little bit better for us. And we want one of these open crates. Open crates, awesome thing. Simple to make, just living wood planks in that type of shape. It does have EMC, so we're going to be using that. We're going to get this hopper right into here. A piece of stone right there. And just redstone dust, redstone dust, redstone dust. Uh, it's a pretty much it's anything lands on that, it powers the redstone, prevents the hopper from going. We can set up the hopper pretty much so that it has blocks of charcoal in here. These will power up individually, start going through the mana spreaders. And it's going to take a little bit for all of the endo flames to fire up, but as soon as they do, it's gonna be powerful for this entire system. it's going to get us the mana we're going to need to make the Terra Steel ingots here, guys. That's where we're working on. And I think this 5-minute explanation got us caught up to where I am at right now. Before the big mess up. Mana pools, we're going to need decent amount of mana, so I want to set up something right over here. Oops, that was a mess up. Here it is. Stone. Stone, here it is. I want to fill this in. 1, 2, 3. You know what? This is 1, 2, 3. Oh, also, I made the first of the red gem stuff, the red matter helmets and stuff, and the red matter sword. Okay, so that is just some of the stuff that we did here between up or during the episode 14 that we originally recorded for you guys. I know you guys would have loved to have seen that. Maybe I will get it all edited together as a video for the Discord, so you guys that would like to watch it, hop over onto the Discord. The link is in the description. I'm pretty sure about that. Now, we're back to Botania here. And one of the things we're going to need are sparks. I did make a spark previously, but I want to make some of these pools here. I want to make like 9 of them, and I want to get sparks set up on all of these guys. Not what I wanted. Not what I wanted in the least. I'm gonna have to move this 𝘠𝑪𝑒 somewhere else. All right. As you can see there, we got that spark. It comes from that one. But we want to make some spark augments. Dispersive, dominant, recessive. I think this is the one I want. Which we can get the 𝐓𝐡𝐞𝐌𝐚𝐥𝐤𝐨𝐫𝐞 here. We need to toss this into the portal here, because this one hasn't been tossed. Now we got the new one, which we can teach the system. We can also now look at the sparks augments in here. I know that there is one in here. Um, hmm. sparks, I think. No. Is there a search? I'm gonna have to look this up. Um, I have to look this up, which one it is. I'm 98% sure it's not the dominant one that we want. We want the recessive. There we go. If we press control on this, finally, the isolation augment prevents sparks from interacting with any dominant or recessive sparks, but still allows it to interact with blocks that can receive from their spark network. Okay. The recessive augment um, makes a spark distribute all mana in its pool to any nearby non-augmented or dispersive spark pool until its own is completely emptied. So what we need is pixie dust, mana seal ingot, and a rune of earth. Pixie dust is interesting here. Pixie dust is mana pearl in there. So what we need to do is make a mana pearl, which is ender pearls. I want a couple of spark augments, so 1, 2, we'll grab those. All right, and so we can get spark. Um, we'll get the disperse recessive. That's it. Which requires the earth one, which we have. Here we go. The earth augment or the earth rune. We'll add this. Now we can get this. I want a few sparks here. I'm gonna need a total of 9 sparks. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these. And the reason why I'm going 9 should be more. Should be 11. Um, but I want to be able to make mana pools. And we're going to just pretty much start back here. Add these sparks to them. If we tap this spark, we can see that it goes to those sparks. But if I put this recessive on there, you see it's wanting to spread the mana out to these guys here, which is what we want it to do. Which will give us more mana to do the the terrasteel ingots. And if we come over here, we can see that they're all pretty much the same. We also would like to get a couple of dominant sparks. Um, and the reason why we're doing this, we're making a 3x3 battery for mana that we're going to be getting from this system here. It's making mana pretty fast, so good thing is I don't see any endo flames that are backed up because we switched to the Elven mana spreaders, which makes them pump the mana in a little bit faster. So what I will do, I'm going to take a quick break between segments here, finish up these mana pools, and I will figure out what we're going to do next. I might finish up the Terra still as well between segments here. Oh, wait. You know what? I want to make 2 of these dominant sparks. Pixie Dust, Fire Rune. Fire Rune, Netherwort, Gunpowder, Nether Bricks. Let's get Nether Bricks, which is Nether Rack. And here, Nether Bricks. We need Netherwort and Gunpowder. 2 things of gunpowder. And one of those should be able to do it this way here. Okay, so gunpowder, netherwort, nether mana. What am I missing here? Oh, nether brick. And we're going to make 2 what are called dominant sparks. That's going to go here and here. All right. We need to make more living wood. But I can make now dominant sparks. It's gonna require 1 more pixie dust. We can break this nature pylon here with this and this one as well. And now we can make dominant sparks. Okay. And what these dominant sparks will do is, since we have these with sparks, we can set those spark augments there, and those 2 are going to get all the resources first created, and it's going to allow us to pretty much make sure that these mana pools will always stay full. Okay. And once those 2 mana pools are full, then all the remaining mana will go back here. Anyway, I will be back in just a few minutes, and we'll get the rest of this episode done with for you guys. The replacement, episode 14. All right, guys, I'm back after a little bit of a break. we're gonna start out. I need to get some of these wither skeleton skulls, and it's very simple. I need a smelter, seared. There we go. Seared casting table, seared faucet, seared heater, and a seared melter, and a bucket. And one of the reasons why is, well, I need to make cakes for one of the runes of winter. Um, and so I figured the best way to do it is, well, milk. To make cakes, we need milk. One of the interesting side effects of wither skeleton skulls is when you put them in a heater, they heat up and they melt down. And as they melt down, they change consistency into milk. That's right, they make milk. So we've got the ability to make milk here with the skulls. And that's why I wanted to do this, is to make a bucket worth of milk, which you just pour the milk out of the seared melter onto the seared casting table to get the milk. But milk does have an EMC, so there we go. Wheat and egg. Did we not teach this eggs? Put these in here. Put this in here. Put these in here. Let's see if we can get a data module to get eggs. And I think eggs have an EMC. Yeah, they do have an EMC. So we just need one of them. So hopefully it gets done here soon to make the rune of winter. Here it is, cake. Yeah, we need the cake. We can get sugar, we can get milk bucket, we can get the wheat. There we go. We got the stuff from here. Now we can toss the chicken and the final protection matrix in there. Wait. Really? Let me see if there's another. Let's see. No chicken jockeys in there. Another cake recipe. Cake base. No, we can't do the cake base. Yeah, all of these require eggs. Um. Hmm. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Cake base requires eggs. Eggs requires chicken essence. Chicken essence requires stellarium seeds, stellarium dust. I'm not sure if we're up to the stage where we can get stellarium. Stellarium dust. Solarium ore. Solarium combs. I think that's just a long way of going about that. So, give me a moment to try to figure out what we're going to do about the eggs. Okay, guys, I am going to try this stuff called chicken bait. And hoping I'm in the correct biomes for it. We'll get a bucket of water. We'll come over here to this spot right here. This seems like a good spot for the water. And all right, place more blocks here from the animals biome. Grass, tall grass, fern. Okay, so logs, saplings, fern. Let's see here. Fern. Does ferns have a recipe? Alchemical catalyst. Which is just brewing stands, living rock, mana pearl. Okay. Oh, we don't. Come on. We don't have progress. The bait will work in that environment. Okay, so all we needed to do was just put a little bit more down. So I'm going to hopefully be far enough away from that. I'm going to stand right here. And I'm going to wait until we get a chicken and then come back with that. Okay, I did get the chicken. We're just waiting for the eggs. It's gonna be about 6 minutes. But I was just gonna show you guys real quick how to make these runes that we're going to need for the mana infuser, like this rune of spring, which requires the rune of water, rune of fire, which we still have from previous time. So we're gonna place the rune of fire, rune of water, 3 saplings a week, and there we go. I'm gonna have to make some more living wood, it looks like, between episodes, because we're gonna have to make all these runes again, unless this mod pack has the you keep your previous runes. So oh, okay, so it does keep the previous runes. So there we go. Rune of Spring. So I'm gonna make the rest of these runes. We're going to get to making this mana infuser. And I'm going to make the first elf still. I can English. Elf still. Elf still. There we go. Elf still ingot. But I'll make that on stream so you guys can watch it. I'm going to replace this because the new one will do that. But before we do, before I take another quick break, I'm going to make this Bifrost Bifrost one. Mana, Ender Pearl. We need a couple of these. We need a diamond. Okay. Okay, so we toss this diamond through this portal, 2 of these. And come over here, grab 2 of those. And we can make this Bifrost rod. With this rod, we can now take, we need to take this mana glass, send it to the, elf world. I can English. They don't make it easy, do they? And now we get the Bifrost blocks using the Bifrost Botanial rod. With the rod, one of those and a living rock becomes shimmering rock, which we need a total of 5 of them to place this onto. Yes, 5 like the previous one. And those, I believe, are gold blocks. So I'll be right back once I get this set up done. All right, guys, we're back for the final segment of this episode where, well, we got this finally set up, the mana infuser. And I use a hopper into an open crate over top of the mana infuser. Right click the mana infuser with a spark, so it uses spark power. We have all of these about halfway full, so we're gonna have to make a lot of these, and you can see how fast this produces. But we get our very first 𝐓𝐡𝐞𝐌𝐚𝐥𝐤𝐨𝐫𝐞𝐬 which I want to make this mechanical mana infuser. Try it out real quick. Runa mana. Let's do that on stream here, or on video, so you guys can see how this thing works. Mana still, we need 4 of these, 5 of these. Post that up. Oh, no. There we go. There's this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's gonna make the mana rune. We're gonna need 4 more mana still. All right, 4 more of those. All right. With the mana steel ring, the 4 of these. With that, we need now 1 of these Terra Steel. We get that greater band. We need pixie dust and dragonstone. Ender pearl. I'm gonna have to make a lot of elf steel here, so I wanna try to somewhat automate this. All right, we've got those. 4, 5. of these. And now we got the mechanical mana infuser. Which apparently it's just, you know, if I set this down, say right here, which we're going to need to break this to get the spark, I think. I can put a spark in here. Okay, so it is getting mana in here. And if we say, I don't know, take a stack of this. Actually, we're not going to need a stack. We're only going to need, how many? 945. Okay, so we need 45 ender pearls, so that's 16, 32, 48. So 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's go with this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so now let me turn these into the items. Should just get 45 of each of these. If this allows me to mechanically produce these, it's going to save me so much time. 1, 2, 3. And there is another one of these that I want to get. I want to also get the mechanical runic altar. I will do that one between episodes, but I think this one is kind of cool. All right, I'm going to put a dominant spark on this, because I think this is like, yeah, there we go. We're getting mana from the other mana pools to fill this up. Yeah, that did burn through a lot of that mana, but we got our first 4. So that's how this works. I'm sure we can pump into it, pump out of it, super easy. If you've liked this episode, hit that like button. If you dislike this episode, go right ahead, hit this dislike button. I know this was not the original episode 14, guys. I've said that at the beginning here. Go over to my Discord. I will probably set it so that you guys will be able to see the original one just loosely clipped together, not fully edited or anything. And yeah, you'll see why I decided to get rid of it and I do this which was going to be like episode 15 for episode 14. Anyway, I'm going to allow this to run for a while between episodes, so we get the elf still made. It's kind of a nice method. I'll just let the mana pools built up and everything. And everything. And until next time. Later, Gators.